all about the fun. Tryna be the one, not another bum. So, fantasy football tips. Probably win one, maybe 2 or 3 ships. Oops, I meant hun. Eli is the one. Tyler makes the sum. Belowski and it's done. Woo!
This is the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. I am your host, Tyler Belowski.
I'm your other host, Eli Belowski.
And this is Season 3, Episode 45. Eli is exhausted. He just got back from a week overnight camp. Eli is exhausted, so he's going to be a little off this week, a little down. He's pulling through.
You might hear my voice a little scratchy. I've just been yelling all week.
Yeah, he was at camp, overnight camp, yelling, screaming, end of the summer camp type thing. So he's going to be a little off. So that's why we're going to take a break from our rankings this week, and we're going to do a mock draft. But before we get to that, we're going to get into our nines, news, info, notes, entertainment, stats. And because he's been out in the woods, hiking and camping and playing games and hooting and hollering, he didn't realize that Derrius Guice, rookie running back for the Redskins, tore his ACL and he'll be done for this season, Eli.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's huge. Not just for the Redskins, but also for fantasy value. I was going after him all year this year.
I know. That stinks so much. That just completely... Now no one in Washington is going to produce.
Yeah, they have Shamaji P. Ryan and then Robert Kelly, and that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, there's talk about maybe...
They have, Josh Jackson and Reed, but other than that, there's not going to be much action in Washington this year.
Yeah, they got Chris Thompson, too, but he's a third down back. There is talk about them bringing in possibly DeMarco Murray out of retirement, maybe even trading for Mark Ingram. Or one of the 45 running backs in Seattle or New England. Yeah. All those guys. So there's some
Detroit. They could look that way.
Yeah, I've seen Amir Abdullah could be an option. So yeah, rookie running back Derrius Guice done for the season. So don't draft him if you haven't done your drafts yet. Obviously in your dynasty leagues, just put him on your bench and don't play him. Number 2, rookie running back Sony Michael had knee surgery over this past week for the Patriots, so he's going to miss most of training camp and probably a couple weeks in the regular season. I wasn't going to draft him at all, so it's not too big for me, but for you guys out there, just be cautious of that. He's going to obviously drop lower in the draft now.
Yeah, definitely, of course.
Big trade, not big trade, but a trade going on throughout this week. Corey Coleman, wide receiver from the Browns, got traded to the Buffalo Bills, Eli.
Yeah, that'll help the Bills, because now they won't now they won't double, triple team, Kelvin Benjamin there. So now they have another target. They'll probably still double team him, but now with Clay's still there and then Coleman coming in, they're a little dangerous.
Yeah, if they can get that
obviously not gonna win the East, but they might make the wild card again.
They could now that they got another weapon in that passing game to get that.
They just need a quarterback.
Get that quarterback situation under control. They're looking good. Defense has gotten stronger during the draft. Now that Corey Coleman's on Buffalo, you may want to bump up his draft position a little bit. I mean, he got buried down in Cleveland, so I may look at him.
Deep leagues, I'd put him on my bench. I'm not going to draft him in 16.
A redraft league.
Yeah.
Maybe a bye-week filler.
Or 16.
16-team league? Yeah, deep leagues.
No. Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, and number 4, Marlon Mack, had hamstring problems. He's going to be out for a couple weeks. Again, I may draft him as my 4th, 5th running back as a bench bye-week filler. So just watch out for the rest of the running backs there in Indianapolis. Also, last one, Eli. Joey Bosa had a foot injury this past week for the Chargers. That could be huge for that defense if he sits out anytime in the regular season. I mean, obviously he has about a month left until the regular season starts, but that defense is young, it's fast, it's good, so hopefully Bosa can come back.
Yeah, definitely, of course.
And the last other news is preseason games are underway. A whole bunch of games Friday and Saturday night, and tonight, if you're listening on Sunday, there's going to be some games. So, yeah, preseason is officially going. This is now the time you see some injuries coming in. Obviously, we saw Derrius Guice. couple of tight ends got banged up a little bit. Kittle and I think Burton, just some
Burton, that could hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, it
wasn't big. It was just like it knocked him out of the game.
Yeah, nothing big. Just
maybe another week of preseason, but if that.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out that. We'll keep you up to date the best we can. So now that we're not doing our rankings this week, we're going to take that week off. We'll go back to tight ends next weekend. So we're going to do a mock draft, Eli. This will be pretty simple for you since you have no voice and no energy. So we're going to do a mock draft. We're going to do a 10-team mock draft on draftwinners.fantasypros.com. We're going to draft from the number 1 position. We're going to do a strategy of 3 running backs and then go from there. Just to give you guys a different variety of how we did it. Last time we did 12 teams. We're receiver heavy, so this one we're going to do 10 teams.
Sixth pick.
Yep, and now we're going to do running back heavy, and we'll see how we go. So obviously our first pick, Eli, we're going to go Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, no question there.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't really need to talk about him.
Yeah, Gurley, Zeke, Johnson, the normal crew going, Hopkins, Beckham, going late in the second round. Mid-second round, you had A.J. Green, Dalvin Cook went, Julio Jones went. So now we are in the second round, getting ready to go on the flip. And our running back options are Devontae Freeman, Jerick McKinnon, Joe Mixon, and Jordan Howard. So we're going to take 2 of those running backs because we're going to go running back.
I think here we should go Devontae Freeman and Jordan Howard because we have the back-to-back pick. I think Jerick McKinnon is just coming into San Francisco with all that hype. He's not going to do as well as Freeman and Howard, and then Joe Mixon with all those some pretty okay running backs behind him. I think Howard and Freeman are gonna do a lot better.
I completely agree. I like the Devontae Freeman pick. Jerick McKinnon again. Prove it to me as we talked about it last week or the weeks before. Jordan Howard is a solid pick. Joe Mixon, I'm starting to kind of like him a little bit more, but give me Jordan Howard over those guys. So third round goes Gronk, Hilton. Actually, he's going to start getting bumped up because Andrew Luck started throwing the ball this weekend.
Yeah, that's good.
In his games. So now we've got 3 running backs. So our next pick, Eli, we could go to receiver or quarterback.
Okay, so there's at quarterback there is Russell Wilson and Cam. Oh, there's Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Deshaun Watson, and Drew Brees. And then we're going to go to wide receivers. There's Golden Tate, Jarvis Landry, Alshon Jeffrey, and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, I think we should go quarterback receiver here. The tight ends are kind of iffy. No reason to go to tight end. I don't want a 4th running back right now, even though Alex Collins is sitting there. Jay Ajayi, but we got to get some other points on the board.
I think here we get Deshaun Watson.
Okay, we're going to go Deshaun Watson.
Okay, and then a wide receiver for sure,
right,
you said.
On the flip, we're going to take wide receiver. Probably, I like Golden Tate. I mean, he's the number 1 there. Jarvis Landry's the 1, obviously. Jeffrey and Juju, it's a little too early for me.
Those are like 2s, 2 wide receivers.
Exactly. So since you took Deshaun Watson, I want to take Golden Tate because we need that wide receiver production out of the 1 position. So we're going to do that. 5th round, you got
definitely going to get a wide receiver here and a tight end.
Yep, maybe tight end. We'll see what's going on. Juju left, Derrick Henry left, Josh Gordon's gone in the 6th.
Alshon Jeffrey is still there.
Marvin Jones, but I don't want teammates on there. And again, I wrote an excellent piece on acrossthefantasypond.com about Marvin Jones and Golden Tate, so go check that out. Alex Collins left, but again, we don't really need a running back quite yet. So let's look at tight ends, Eli. Like you said, Delaney Walker, Kyle Rudolph are there. Only 2 really good options I want to take this early in the 6th round. Are we in?
Yeah, 6th round.
So we got wide receiver and tight end.
It doesn't matter the order, but what I think here, you may think differently, but I say Alshon Jeffrey and Kyle Rudolph.
Yep, I completely agree with that. And here's the thing, guys. When you're on the ends like we are, we're on the 1s or on the 12s, on that flip, you got to kind of sometimes reach. That's why we went Deshaun Watson, because on the flip around, he may not have been there. We could have ended up with, not that it's a bad choice, like a Kirk Cousins or Phillip Rivers. So on those flips, on those corner picks, you got to kind of reach a little bit. So yes, we're going to go Alshon Jeffrey as our number 2 receiver. And for our tight end, because again, I want a good tight end that's going to produce a lot of points. Eli was going to go Kyle Rudolph. Delaney Walker's there, but I like Rudolph better this year. So
I think Kirk Cousins coming in, he's going to do a lot better. than Case Keenum.
Exactly.
And I think Rudolph's production is going to go nowhere but up.
Yep,
And that's what we want, and that's what you want in a fantasy team.
Exactly, I completely agree. So we kind of reached a little bit there for our quarterbacks and tight ends again, like I said. But on those flips, you got to have to. All right, so now let's look at running backs. We do have 3 studs, but you never know. We can get a steal. We have Tevin Coleman for the handcuff. Sonny Michael, but again, he's injured. Duke Johnson. Tariq Cohen for the handcuff.
Yeah, and then there's also Marshawn Lynch, but that's a little too early, I think, for the first bench spot. We're going to wide receivers. There's Jamison Crowder, Robert Woods in L.A., Randall Cobb, and Cooper Kupp.
I would go, not that the order really matters too much, I would either go Crowder and Woods, get a receiver, and get another running back, and I would go probably Tevin Coleman to get that handcuff.
Okay.
All right, so,
I think definitely Tevin Coleman.
all right, we'll go Coleman.
But I think the wide receivers, I think we get Cooper Kupp here. It's a bit of a reach, but with the running game gone in Washington, like we said earlier, I think that they're just going to put so much pressure on Crowder. And then Robert Woods, I think Cooper Kupp is going to outproduce him this year. He's going to take over that number 2 spot, I think. But I'm not taking Randall Cobb.
I don't want Randall Cobb. I don't really want any of him on my teams this year. I agree with you what you said about Jamison Crowder in Washington, that the running game is gone unless they bring someone in. But right now, during this draft, there's no one in there. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. Let's see who they have. Devin Funchess, I don't want him. Woods, Kupp. It's really got about the same type of guy. So we'll take Kupp just to see how it plays out. All right, so that's the 8th and 9th round. Robert Woods did go. Alan Hearns went. And Sonny Michael went. Carlos Hyde. The first defense off the board. The Vikings, I believe, the first defense.
The Jags went in the 8th round.
All right, I missed that one. Shepard went. Crowder went. We don't need a tight end, and we don't need a running quarterback, so we're just staying in the wide receiver, running back situation. Nelson Aguilar, Kenny Stills are the top 2 best options for wide receiver.
Going to running backs, there is Duke Johnson, Marshawn Lynch. I think here. Oh, and then there's also Chris Thompson, C.J. Anderson. I think here it's either Marshawn Lynch or C.J. Anderson.
C.J. Anderson? I'm going to go Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, I think Lynch here. I think that's a steal in real life. Remember, guys, we're playing against the computer here. And so it's going to be a little bit off with...
when you go against real people.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the computer would do ADPs, average draft positions. Humans, they go based on names. They go by homer picks, however they do it, their own cheat sheets and whatnot. So Marshawn Lynch going to the 10th. He had this huge run the other night. Greg called back. It's preseason and whatnot, but still, it's a great run. Look, he looks fresh. He looks like he's lost a handful of pounds. So he's looking good. So we went with Marshawn Lynch. I'm going to take Nelson Aguilar out of Philadelphia over Kenny Stills, Marcus Lee, or Rashard. I like Rashard
just better
Matthews.
Quarterbacks.
Better quarterback. I like Rashard Matthews, but it's a little early to be taking him.
Yeah.
So Nelson Aguilar, welcome to our team. Let's just play catch up real quick to see who we have on our team. We're burning through this draft, guys.
Yeah.
We'll probably have time to do one more mock draft before the season starts, and we'll give you some of our tips and clues and cheats and how to get the best players out of your team. All right, so our team right now consists of running backs. Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman, Jordan Howard, Tevin Coleman, Marshawn Lynch. Our quarterback is Deshaun Watson. Wide receivers Golden Tate, Alshon Jeffrey, Cooper Kupp, and Nelson Aguilar. And our tight end is Kyle Rudolph. So that's looking pretty good, Eli. It's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, pretty good team. We just need one bench spot and a kicker defense to finish our team. So 3 more rounds.
4 more rounds. We need 2 benches, a kicker, and a defense. It's messed up. All right, so we're going to be adding depth. But some people like to have 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. So let's go look at that.
Let's look at the quarterbacks. We got Deshaun Watson, a little injury prone, there's Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, Patty Mahomes. I'm not gonna touch.
Patty Mahomes. I like that. Patty Mahomes. That's nice. That's sweet. I don't think I've ever heard that. Patty Mahomes.
I'm not touching Patrick Mahomes this year. Just he's played like one game, and it was like week 17 where no one ever plays usually. But I think here we either go Phillip Rivers or Matt Ryan probably. I want to go with Jared Goff, but I feel like Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers are just more proved than him. Like Jared Goff, this is his third year. I think Phillip Rivers he's more consistent. Matt Ryan, he's consistent, but he'll get like 20-point games. But Jared Goff will get like 25-point games and like 17-point games. I think we go Phillip Rivers here.
I go Phillip Rivers. He has the only way I take Matt Ryan just because there's a little bit of a better supporting cast, but Phillip Rivers is more consistent than Ryan and Goff. So Phillip Rivers, and again, we're just doing a different type of strategy. Hardly ever should you take two quarterbacks, but just in case,
especially in a 10-team league.
Yeah, you really wouldn't have to. It would be so deep. And again, you don't have to take two tight ends, but we're going to do it for this mock draft. I got George Kittle, Charles Clay, O.J. Howard, and Eric Ebron. I like Charles Clay. He's going to be a PPR machine this year.
Yeah.
O.J. Howard, Eric Ebron, and Jared Cook. They're okay. But George Kittle or Charles Clay?
I think it's either Charles Clay or O.J. Howard.
O.J. Howard, really?
Yeah. I think they're going to split a lot of time, O.J. and Cameron Brate. But Jameis Winston loves to just dump it off to the tight end, so they're both going to get their share. But I still think we go Charles Clay here.
I agree because that's the only one we agreed upon. So Charles Clay is our second tight end. Again, just a different type of strategy. Nick Chubb went in the 13th. Jared Goff did go. Jameis Winston left. And now we're going to start getting kickers and defenses, which is what we need. I like to go kickers first because get a solid kicker. Defenses you can always stream. You can always stream kickers too, but I like to get my kicker first. So we'll go Jakowski.
Because it's hard to stream a kicker. It's easier to stream a defense.
Yep.
Because there's better defense. There's better defenses.
Yep. So we went Jakowski from New England, and our defense. You went the Patriots or Saints or Steelers. Steelers, okay,
yeah.
You're a Steelers fan.
Yes.
All right. So I'm drafting Wizards. DraftingWizards.fantasypros.com. They will. And I think Yahoo and ESPN, they all give you grades. And again, we'll repeat it. Disregard the grade. Look at your team. Okay, we got a B+. Okay? That doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
In a sense of projective standings, we're supposed to end up... Oh, no. Wrong button. Okay. So, we had a B+. Not a big deal. Our team is Deshaun Watson, quarterback, Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman, starting running backs, Golden Tate, Alshon Jeffrey, starting receivers.
The wide receivers are a little iffy, but we make it up with the running backs.
Yep, Kyle Rudolph is a tight end. Flex is Jordan Howard, but we could put in there Cooper Kupp, Nelson Aguilar, Steelers, Jankowski, kicker, Tevin Coleman, Cooper Kupp, Marshawn Lynch, Nelson Aguilar, Phillip Rivers, and Charles Clay. And because we took two quarterbacks and two tight ends. You know, if we would have stayed with a receiver running back, our grade may have been bumped up a little bit. We had a little bit better choices. But Clay and Rivers could definitely be tradable. They could be dumps for bye-week fillers. But we did do the three running backs first, so our receivers got sacrificed. So if we would have went third-round wide receiver, we could have ended up with, say, like a Mike Evans or one of those type of guys. So that was that. So drafting words is, oh yes, not right now though. Sorry, Eli asked me a question. Yeah, so that's going to be our mock draft tonight. That's our main topic. Again, we'll do our rankings next week for tight ends, our top 20 tight ends. Hopefully get a special guest on for you guys to do that. That's it, Eli. It's a fast one tonight.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. You're wicked tired. I know that. Your voice is coming in and out. From yelling and everything. So you can find us on YouTube at the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Tyler Belawski, TYLER, BELAWSKE. Any final thoughts, Eli?
Alright, so guys, again, don't worry about the grade, what your grade is. Because this goes off of ADP. In real life, that's a pretty solid team. As we said, the wide receivers are a little iffy, but we make up for it in running backs.
Yeah, so you get your points one way or another, but that's why you do mock drafts. What style is best for you? Is there heavy running back heavy, wide receiver heavy, a little mix of everything? That's why we mock draft. I prefer receiver heavy because I think they're going to get more points for you, better options, I think. So that's going to do it for us, Eli. A quick, fast one this week. I'm Tyler Belosky.
I'm Eli Belosky.
And this has been the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. We tell it how it is.